Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching episode 7 of What If. This episode basically asks the question, what if Thor was an only child? Basically, what if Thor and Loki, were separated and they didn't live as brothers? Well, what would happen is that Thor would turn into a crazy party animal and who would basically threaten the very safety of Earth through his rockin' parties that go from Las Vegas all the way around to the United States, France, United Kingdom, the entire planet. Midgard is essentially completely screwed with him around, but it's actually in a pretty funny way. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that Jane Foster, played once again by Natalie Portman, and Darcy, played once again by Kat Dennings, find that Thor is their first contact with alien life, and find that Thor is not only a Norse god, but he's a party animal like no other who happens to party with pretty much all of the major characters of the Thor films, including Surtur, Korg, the Golden People from Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket Raccoon, Howard the Duck. Basically any galaxy-based character that Marvel has is thrown into the party for either a quick joke, or even a fully voiced cameo, like Jeff Goldblum, for example. But S.H.I.E.L.D. is none too happy with Thor's partying ways, so acting director Maria Hill ends up sending Captain Marvel to shut down the party. But that's all I'll say about the story. This definitely isn't the most plot-substantial episode of What If, but it's definitely one of the most energetic and funny. Especially since we actually get to see a full-on fight scene between Thor and Captain Marvel, and thankfully it's not as one-sided as you think it would be. I know a lot of people hate Captain Marvel, especially the Brie Larson's version, but this show not only doesn't have Brie Larson voicing her, it also happens to clearly show that she's a bit of a party pooper. And Thor actually does hold his own in a fight with her, and unlike, say, Avengers Endgame, where Thor turned into a fat nerd obsessed with Fortnite, here he's more like a frat boy party animal, but in a lovable sort of way. And I can tell you that I've always loved Thor when he's this irresponsible dolt. So seeing more of that here and having part of that be that, Loki wasn't his brother, does make me realize that his upbringing would be a bit different if that wasn't the case. Besides, we still see Loki in the episode. He's just more of a Jotunheim frost giant here. And yeah, I do think frost giant Loki is a pretty cool design. On top of that, we get to see what happens with a lot of college parties and what happens to a lot of college bros who throw those parties. Someone calls the guy's mother and they have to clean everything up. And having that be the climax of the episode is really not only funny, it also happens to show off more of Frigga in the series. Especially because Frigga wasn't even really that important in the Thor films, especially since she doesn't even appear in the third one for obvious reasons, but I do appreciate what they did with Frigga. I find her pretty funny here, and honestly, the ending jokes of the episode are probably the most entertaining outside of the fight between Thor and Captain Marvel. So yeah, definitely not an episode that you absolutely have to watch outside of maybe the end credits stinger, but it's definitely one of those that you'd want to enjoy simply for the joy of the premise. And that's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. See you next time.